Hello, this is Savage Jim, and this is my Marlin Model 336 chambered in 3030. As you can see from its classic outline, it is a lever action rifle, and I actually purchased this rifle for probably around $270 to maybe about $300 after taxes from Walmart, back when Walmart was actually selling firearms. I'm not sure what they would cost today, but I am guessing they might run around $400 if you're to buy them brand new out of the box. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that in the comments below. I have mounted on this rifle a rather cheap scope here. This one is a Tasco, and I believe this one is an 8x magnification. I'll have to go back and get the books to read the specs. I haven't had a chance to sight it in. I just actually installed the sights recently. And let me go over how a lever action works. As you can see, you have your operating lever, which actually cycles the weapon. What happens is, as you pull the lever down, you can see that the bolt comes back, and at the same time it charges the hammer back into a cocked position. And I don't know if you can see very well in the chamber over here, but what happens is when there are shells in the chamber, as you pull back on the lever, a shell is pushed upwards by a spring, and actually the lever function as well, and it's prepared to be loaded into the firing chamber. And as you push the lever forward, it pushes the bolt forward too, and the shell along with it into the firing chamber, and it's locked, and the weapon is now ready to fire. This over here is your loading port. I believe this rifle is a 6-round tubular magazine. From back here under the forward stock all the way up here, there's a loading spring onto this tubular magazine on the underside of the firing barrel itself. That's where your additional rounds are stored. And each time you operate the operating lever, the rifle extracts the spent shell and loads a new shell for firing again, and one pull of the trigger, of course, fires the shell, and then you just repeat the process. I have here one cartridge. This is a 3030 shell. I'm trying to get my camera to focus here so we can see the stamping on it. 3030 Winchester, there it is. This particular shell is probably meant for medium game. I consider this a medium rifle shell, not a full high-powered shell like a 30-06 or 700 Magnum or your 243 or any of those other comparable full rifle shells. This shell is probably effective up to 500 yards. Somebody correct me on that. I know the ballistics on this box, excuse me, shows it's good for up to 400 yards. It has ballistics data up to 400 yards here, and well, look at that. It's zeroed in at 100 yards. The drop is already 26.7 inches, and at 400 yards I believe it's already hit the ground according to these ballistics. That's what this rifle is for. The scope here, I didn't go with an expensive scope. I don't even remember how much I paid for this one. I believe I paid less than $100 for this Tasco, but I didn't really need it for extreme long ranges or a high-powered rifle range, and so I guess this rifle, and scope are a fairly decent match. We'll find out when I take it to the range and have it sighted in. Now I want to go over the safety feature of the rifle here. As you can see over here, this button presses in on this side. You actually cannot put it into the safe position unless the hammer is in a full cock position. And as you can see here on the red signifies that the weapon can be fired. To put it into the safe position, push it until it's flush against the surface of the receiver, and on this side you will see that it is now protruding out on this side. And I don't know if you can see the word right there, and you can see the printing on it. It says safe. That means the rifle is now safe. Now here's the thing with this rifle. You can still pull the trigger and the hammer will fall. However, the hammer does not fall all the way down. It comes down to I don't know what that position is. The safe position, I assume it is not a half-cock position. Let me show you what the half-cock position is. That is your half-cock position. And then put it back on fire. And this is the hammer. Let me take it off safe here. This is the hammer all the way down to engage the firing pin to fire. Now when the weapon is safe, they say do not pull the trigger and let the hammer fall full force onto that safety catch. It will destroy the action after so many times, from what I understand. I do not want to risk it, so I never put that to the test. Other feature of this rifle is are rather simple. It's not a very expensive rifle. It's more of a utilitarian style hunting rifle that you could use for medium game, probably up to deer, mostly hog, I presume. That's at least what I've shot at with. I don't know what other game anybody finds this rifle particularly good for. If somebody knows, please do post with your experiences and let me know. As you can see on each side, the handguard has a checkering on it, engraved into the wood. And I'm not exactly certain what kind of wood this is. I presume this is walnut. I need to retouch this up over here. I've stored this in my closet for several years and leaned it up against the wall, and unfortunately it has caused some scuffing damage down here on the rifle, towards the end of the rifle butt. But it's a very nice wood finish for a rifle of this price. And over here on the forward guard, there's also a checkering for you to grip it. I bought this. This does not come with the rifle, this sling. I bought this hunting sling from a local sporting store for maybe about $20–25. But it's a perfect match. It fits into the lanyard loops rather nicely, and it goes actually seamlessly with the rifle. On the open sights, I don't know if you can see here. Let me bring that forward. It has a shrouded hood, and I'm trying to tilt that up here. It's kind of hard to do that with the camera. I'll have to pull up the rifle. You can see there is a dot on the forward sight, and underneath of the scope is the rear open sight. With the scope mounted, obviously you cannot use the sights, so once you put a scope on this, you're committed to look through the scope. That about concludes my review of my Marlin 336. I've hadn't had it out in quite some time. I've only took it out to install this scope, and I want to get it good and cleaned and all properly set up for tomorrow so I could get this to the range and have it properly sighted in. But it looks like I'll be spending the rest of this evening taking it down and giving it a good cleaning and making sure everything's in proper working order. This is Savage Jim signing out.